Hello, everyone. This is Bill Apter in another area of Apter's Alley. It's too cold, actually, in the Apter's Alley basement. That's where it is in the home of Bill Apter. It's down in the basement there, and it's really cold down there. So we're taking a different route here today and going into one of the other side rooms of Apter's Alley where it is warmer. So I want to welcome, of course, everyone, the people who are here to chat live. And as you know, I'm still, for the past 2 years, I've been hawking my book, of course, Is Wrestling Fixed? I didn't know it was broken. And you can still get it at bookstores, Amazon.com, as many places as you can get books. That's where it is. So the topic for this live stream is not my comb over, and it's not this this different video camera that I'm using. And I actually want to see if I can. Thank you, Faith the Slayer. Best wishes for a happy New Year, and the same to you, of course. So there are several people in the room. So let's get started with today's topic. Is your prediction. Give me one prediction, and it can be from any company, any federation. One prediction for, hey, Jody, one prediction for 2018. So if either of you or anyone else listening in there or watching in have a prediction for 2018, 18, not 18, that would be great. Okay, Douchebag. Whoa, what a name. Hey, Bill, love your work, mate. All the best for 2018. Cheers from Australia. Oh, thank you so very, very much. And I'm doing this at an earlier hour. So I think it's around 11 p.m. Your time over there. There's a possibility I might be coming to Australia in August or September of next year. I'm working in close conjunction with the promoter to do a book signing over there. So Douchebag, that happens, we got to get together. So Travis T-Volt, one of my favorite people in the whole world, does a lot of work for OneWrestling.com through the years. My predictions for 2018, New Japan will have a larger presence in America. Okay, let's take that one slowly. That was actually going to be one of mine. I haven't given mine yet. I think that Access TV has seen a real winner in this programming, and I think that beside California, New Japan is going to start spreading out and touring. So I think that they will, yes, they will definitely have a higher presence in the United States in 2018. Yeah, they could. WWE, of course, is the big game in town, and a lot of the people who aren't into sports entertainment are turning to New Japan on Access TV. Travis also says WWE will be doing a lot more live videos on social media. I agree. I think they're going to find some way to do live videos, Travis, as well on the WWE network, which you got to get if you don't have. I was going to change to my better video camera here, but I'm not 1,000% on live feed how to do this here, and I don't know why it's recognizing. So give me 1 second here, and let me see if I can work this out, because I have a much better video camera here. Top chat. Hold on. I'm going to look and see if there's a way to. No, can't do it while we're recording here. So, okay. So, Douchebag says it's 9 a.m. Sunday morning. Wow. Thank you so much for being here. Jody says, I hope they get it together. WWE get better booking. But what's your prediction for next year? If the booking, in your opinion, is improved? Faith the Slayer, I predict that Cody will replace or feud with Kenny Omega to take over the Bullet Club. Excellent prediction, and I concur. Or Cody will wind up somewhere mid-year making another deal with WWE and bringing him in at this high profile that he has made for himself out in Ring of Honor and New Japan. It's amazing. I've rarely ever seen a professional wrestler go ahead and create the aura that he has outside of the WWE. Yeah, quite a wow, absolutely quite an achievement. Douchebag says I look fine. No need to change it. I know, but I'm a perfectionist with video and audio and all this kind of thing. MD Song, welcome. Hi, Bill. It's Tony from Facebook. Yo, Tony. Hope you're doing good. I so hope. I know a lot of Tonys from Facebook. So is it? I know Tony D, my friend. Yes. I hope that 2018 that a cable or satellite company will get Samurai TV, Gaora, any other that shows wrestling in Japan. Yeah, I mean, a lot of fans, especially who weren't familiar with Japan, now that New Japan is out there on Access TV, they want to see a lot more wrestling from Japan. Do any of you, by the way, get Galavision, some of the other Latin American channels, and see some of the Lucha Libre from Mexico? You talk about that mix of wrestling and entertainment. Everybody does high spots all the time, and everybody wears a mask pretty much. Let me know your thoughts on that if you watch it. 86 Comp Geek. Also predict big things for Rusev in the new year. Me too. You know, I've always said this, being old school, back in the days of Bruno Sammartino, Rusev would have been a monster. Vince McMahon Sr. would have put him against Bruno, and they would have had a series of 3 matches that would have blown the roof off any arena on the East Coast. Madison Square Garden, Boston Garden, Nassau College, any of the big McMahon clubs from back then. Timothy Phillips Jr., hey, Bill, Happy New Year. Same to you. And you predict the 17th title for John Cena. I can see that. Nothing is impossible in the WWE. Andrew Riggs, I predict that there will be women's tag titles introduced. I predict you're right. And one of the things that I predict in 2018, speaking about the women, is that Royal Rumble, the women's Royal Rumble, will blow everything away. I mean, they'll blow. No, they're just going to do incredibly. They're all going to be at the top of their game. DX Girl down there. Karma coming back in 2018. Possibility. But again, these are your predictions. Jody, Daniel Bryan to leave and go back to the Indies. All right, so I'm going to give away one of my big predictions here. I think, and again, this is nothing I know, I think, and this is a prediction, that he will leave WWE for one match somewhere, or probably Ring of Honor, go back to his old alma mater, and then he's going to come back to WWE once he gets the kinks out of there, or maybe he'll go to NXT. And then at WrestleMania will be the culmination of his feud against Shane McMahon. Now, keep in mind, very dangerous that he could get hurt again. And Shane McMahon is a very high-profile, high-flying guy in the ring. He takes a lot of risks. So if Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon do square off, I think Shane McMahon's going to have to tone down what he does in the ring just a bit. Jimmy Milstead, Happy New Year, wonderful Willie. Wonderful Willie. Thank you, if you will, Jimmy Milstead. We go back. We've got Vince, out of touch McMahon. Unquestionably, you're fired. Roman will win the Women's Rumble. Okay. Well, that's a shtick prediction. So shtick predictions are welcome here. I don't want to see him in that kind of an outfit. Jimmy Milstead, Happy New Year, wonderful Willie. Same to you, if you will. Model Mac Davis. Hey, Mac, I got your email, if that's the same Mac Davis I'm thinking of. And thank you. I'm very flattered with everything you had to say. And if that is you, when I first saw the picture, I thought it was just incredible. So your model Mac Davis says that Hogan returns. I agree. I think somehow, somewhere, not to wrestle, but Hulk Hogan will be back in the graces at the WWE. They got to bring him back. Come on. I mean, I understand about everything that went on there, but the guy was Babe Ruth, and the whole sports entertainment movement was a partnership between McMahon and Hogan. So without that partnership there, we may never have seen the WWE grow to what it's become today. Ed G, Ryback will return, I think. Yeah, possibly. Johnny Dunlap, do more book reviews, Bill. Love your reviews on wrestling books from Johnny in Northern Ireland. Hey, welcome. We've got some more people from the other side of my world here. I don't know if you can see in the background there, but I've already read this twice. It's the Second Nature, the story of Charlotte Flair and Ric Flair, of course. Next to it, of course, is the collection of the Jerry Lewis. Who's Jerry Lewis? Google it. Not Jerry Lee Lewis. Jerry Lewis, who was my favorite comedy person of all time. That's the entire DVD set, starting with the Nutty Professor. So if you don't know who Jerry Lewis is, Lewis. Let me get the box. Hang on a minute. Pardon me if my shirt's out in the back, but this is a candid chat from the Apta home here. So just driving me crazy, though, that this is the wrong video camera. So here, this is the entire Nutty Professor collection from my guy, Jerry Lewis. And the voice is actually, sir. So some of you people out there probably know who Jerry was. He died this year, and it was a huge tragedy to me. But yeah, I will do more book reviews. Big year for Shinsuke Nakamura. You know what? I want to see that, but I don't know. I'm not sure. Let me go back to your question there. I'm just not sure that the WWE is the place for Shinsuke Nakamura. New Japan. I'm just not sure. NXT. I'm just not. There's something about him. He's so great, but the majority of people, other than his entrance, just aren't catching. He's not on fire for some reason. And I think they have to come up with some better situations for him. Yeah, I would love to see 2018 being bigger for him. Edgy says, I'm NI too. LOL? I know what LOL means. What is NI? Dominic Sciuli, how long do you think Barack Lesnar will last? I see Brock Lesnar probably lasting through 2018, but I don't see him as Universal Champion for all of 2018. I think, and this is one of my predictions, that you people out there remember how the Road Warriors caught on. They were bad guys, and the fans would cheer the hell out of them. That's happening with Braun Strowman. He's become the most popular bad guy in the WWE in ages, and I think Braun Strowman is going to wind up in that Brock Lesnar spot. And I think the WWE is going to have another franchise player in him, like someone that every fan or non-wrestling fan will know his name. But they see, again, it depends how they play them. I'm rarely critical of the WWE because I like watching WWE. I like watching Ring of Honor, Impact Wrestling, New Japan Pro Wrestling, all the indies. But once in a while they'll do something, and I go like. Recently, they ran for Christmas. They ran a spot with Braun Strowman in an elf outfit, and to me, that just kind of, even if it was for 5 minutes, took away that monster among men. Scary. When I was growing up, the bad guys were scary as hell. You'd never see them out of their gimmick at all. But Strowman was out of his gimmick on this video, and it bothered me. I don't know if any of you agree with me or not. Okay, let's scroll down here. James Smith, too. I predict Impact Wrestling will be disrespected again. I hope not, because they've moved their operation. They've got Anthem behind them now. So let's predict for a very non-critical year of Impact Wrestling. MD Song. I predict that we may see Jeff Hardy's alter ego, Willow, in the WWE. I agree. Do you guys like Woken Matt Hardy? How do you think that's going over? Faith the Slayer. I'm going to shoot in the dark and hopefully strike gold. Ross and Marshall Von Erich, NXT 2018. Wow, the sons of Kevin Von Erich in NXT. They've been around a while, but why not? Yeah, that's interesting. I never would have thought of that. Okay, another one from Vince Out of Touch McMahon. Undertaker Hall of Fame induction next year. It's about time, unless he decides one more match and then retires and then gets inducted. So maybe that's going to happen. Maybe The Undertaker is going to come back for a match at WrestleMania 2018 and then quit. I don't know. Douchebag, will Hogan be reinstated into the Hall of Fame? Great question. I would hope so. I would hope so. Mr. Weathersby. Hello, Bill. Hello, Mr. Weathersby. Antilles, hello, Mr. Apter. Hello, Timothy. So again, predictions. Also, do me a favor and share this link with your friends, your family, anyone that follows pro wrestling. So Timothy Phillips Jr. says, no, you're right. Nothing is impossible. I'm a Cena fan. I am too. I think he's great. And objectively, as a broadcaster and journalist, he's had a hell of a career. But you know, they're going to try and put Cena over as an all-time great when he doesn't need the title anymore. But that's okay. There's no reason why we can't put him over as an all-time great. What I like is that we're probably going to see John Cena losing to some of the younger talent that is out there to get them over as well. He's a guy who plays by the game. And hold on, that's one of my cell phones ringing here. I have two cell phones. So this is a call. Oh my goodness, I cannot. Well, a few people say, oh my God, it's a flip phone. It's the baby of this phone. So yeah, let me turn that down. Hopefully, I can't believe this guy will leave a message, hopefully. Travis Volts, T-Volt, I'd love to see the Von Erichs in NXT, but that's a long shot. Yeah, it probably is. Claw their way to the top. Oh, their family. I mean, when Kerry, Kevin, and David were at their peak, they're absolutely incredible against the Freebirds. Whew. Anybody else remember that? Stephen Powell. Hey, Stephen. Who would you like to see go into the WWE Hall of Fame this year? I'd like to see The Undertaker go in, definitely. And give me some thought about that for the next live one, because there's probably a whole list of people that I can't just think of off the top of my head. Faith the Slayer, Jerry Lewis is a legend. What was your favorite movie of his? Well, first of all, he should not be in the WWE Hall of Fame. His best serious movie I loved was King of Comedy with he and Robert De Niro and Sandra Bernhard. I thought that was great. Everybody picks The Nutty Professor as being their favorite movie of his. No, not the Eddie Murphy movie. The Jerry Lewis one. He created, wrote it, directed in it, starred in it. My favorite Jerry Lewis movie was probably The Errand Boy and Ladies' Man and Cinderfella. Yeah. So let me end that comment with a, if you don't know who Jerry is, you wouldn't understand that. Yeah, he and Dean Martin, Jody, were were classics. Yes, they were a classic team. That, you know, it's funny because when I talk to millennials and they have no clue, these guys were bigger than the Beatles before the Beatles came out. Who are the Beatles, you say? Look them up. MD Song, do you think that Minnesota would ever get WrestleMania like US Bank Stadium and Target Field? Yeah, why not? Again, looking for some more predictions. That's our topic for today. And I am answering all questions, but predictions for 2018. And did you people agree with my picks for Match of the Year and Wrestler of the Year on OneWrestlingVideo.com? Subscribe to that, by the way, please. My runner-up Match of the Year was Pete Dunne against Tyler Bate in Chicago in May. And my Match of the Year was the 2017 match on the Royal Rumble card of John Cena against AJ Styles. And my Wrestler of the Year, it was a tie. Yeah. It was Okada and it was AJ Styles. So let me know if you agree. Jacob Waller, will I be participating in the Royal Rumble? I am not allowed to because of my COW Championship Office Wrestling title. Because I am a champion, the winner of the Royal Rumble is allowed to challenge me for an office match for Championship Office Wrestling. If you need to know more about that, please get my book, Is Wrestling Fixed? I didn't know it was broken. And that's that phone again. So I was going to silence it, but somebody keeps calling me here, so I'm not going to do that. So that's the story. Get my book. There's a whole chapter on the COW Championship Office Wrestling Championship in there. Andrew Rojas, welcome, Andrew. My 2019 prediction. Wow, you're just 2 years in advance. If you made a typo, we get it. It's okay. There will be a championship title introduced, and it will be more prestigious than the U.S. title, but less than the Intercontinental. That's for 2019. Now you got me thinking. I don't even know what they would call that. Interesting. Oh, Andrew Rojas with a star after it. The California Championship, the WWE California Championship, will be more prestigious than the Intercontinental Championship and the U.S. title. I love California, like I really do. But how would that be more prestigious than the U.S. title and the Intercontinental title? I'm not sure. Braveheart 84, hi back. Vince out of Touch McMahon, thoughts on Jason Jordan in 2018? It looks like he's the replacement for Dean Ambrose right now, teaming up with Seth Rollins, of course, and having the tag team belts. I think that he's going to be doing better and more high profile because he's got the rub from Seth Rollins going on right now. I would not say that they won't do a feud between he and Rollins, and if it's Ambrose time when Ambrose comes back, boy, there could be trouble there too. Oh, so while I was away, you won the titles with this guy, and now you're just going to let him hang out. So could be some Shield tension there. DX Girl 69, Bill Apter for the Hall of Fame in 2018. It would be the crowning glory of my 50 years, and I'm only 43 in the business. Thank you, DX Girl. Rayjar, RAYJJJR, says, I think people jump out of the ring too much. I think you're right. You know what? Everybody raves about Kenny Omega and Okada. I love their matches. There's a lot of out-of-the-ring stuff in their matches, right? Yeah, too many people out there. Chris said, and listen to the crowd. They're cheering and laughing at and with Braun Strowman. I agree. They're laughing at him in a kind of in a good way. He's lost not lost, but he doesn't have that terrifying edge to a lot of the fans that the bad guys when I was little have. But he's still frightening. Once he gets in the ring, the kids are terrified again. All right. Let's go to Arnie Wolf, 3D. You know, I'm a big fan of 3D, by the way. And I don't mean the Dudleys 3D. I have collections of 3D movies. Absolutely love them. The first 3D movie I ever saw was when I was a little kid. My mother took me to a theater in the Bronx, and they had the blue and red glasses, and the movie was Hondo with John Wayne. And to this day, I remember him riding his horse, and the Indians shooting arrows, and he was like over us in the theater, the horse coming over us with him on it, and the arrows were flaming arrows coming out to the theater. Oh, it was so good. I hope Vince makes new national wrestling. If he can make XFL, he can do it. I'm not sure what you mean by national wrestling, because he's not just national. He's absolutely, totally worldwide. So are you talking about him buying the National Wrestling Alliance or something from William Corgan? I don't think that would happen. Andrew Rojas, Woken Matt vignettes coulda been in the Christmas spirit a little more. Okay. Any more predictions, by the way, for 2018? Hang on a minute. I'm doing scrolling here. I love doing this, by the way, and we have so much input coming in here. That's what input would be. So I have to keep scrolling here. Travis Fultz, of course, I remember the Von Erichs versus the Freebirds, still enjoying it on the WWE Network. Braveheart, 84, laugh out loud at what? Vince had to touch McMahon, laugh out loud about what? Arnie Wolf, 3D, hey, Vince, keep up the good work. Make new state wrestling. Oh, so you mean like state champions, like a California champion, a New York champion? I want them to do a TV champion, a Raw TV champion, and a SmackDown TV champion. What do you think? Prediction for 2018? No, because we don't know if they're going to do that. Jody agrees with my picks for Match of the Year and Wrestler of the Year. Antilles, welcome. My Wrestler of the Year would be AJ Styles as well. Thank you for concurring. You know, people don't realize that he's a young veteran, and he's so good. He is so good. If you hear a little slurping in the background, the very famous Lexi Rose Apter is drinking water back here. She does like to be on camera, but I don't want to pick her up while she's drinking. Lexi, let's see if once she's finished drinking here. A lot of people in the room here. Thank you so very much. Anybody else from out of the United States and Canada? Lexi, come here. Lexi, come here. Come here. A lot of people want to see you. And if you don't, you're going to see her anyway. So let me bring Lexi Rose up here. This is Lexi Rose. Look over there. Look. See everybody out there? She's looking at every one of you. We rescued this beautiful baby. She's a poodle, and we rescued her, about 12 years ago from the Abington, Pennsylvania SPCA. And that's my dog child. So, all right, wave bye-bye. Okay, back to wrestling business here. Thanks, Lexi. Braveheart 84. What about Undertaker versus Sting at WrestleMania? Will we ever see it at all? I don't think so. I don't know if I want to see the match at this point, because they're not at the top of their game. I don't know how either one of them can perform right now. I'd like to see them in. I don't know. I mean, I would have loved to have seen that match several years ago, but I don't think we're going to see that match. But that would be a good end to the Undertaker's career. So, what about Undertaker versus Sting? Which is Jimmy Milstead predicting a women's Elimination Chamber match as the next first in WWE. Totally agree with that prediction. Fabulous prediction. Kurosawa 7. Where are you texting from, Kurosawa 7? Does Danielson go back to Ring of Honor or work with Gabe next year? Okay, I should have included Evolve in my equation there, or Gabe Sapolsky. He won't stay there. It's just going to be for one match if it happens at all, just to get the kinks out, make sure he can still do this. And I'm sure, hours before the Raw, the SmackDown show, that he's probably running the ropes and trying this out. So, yeah, I mean, I'd love to see him come back. He was such a good wrestler, not a sports entertainer. He was a wrestler. MD Song, mine was a tie in the match of the year. Okay, Okada versus Omega, and I agree on Cena Styles. Predictions for 2018. Young Bucks to come to NXT. That's an excellent prediction. I think they would go over great there. Also coming to NXT will be Jay and Mark Briscoe. Possibility as well. Even though they've been around for a long time, they're still so tough. I think they'd get over great. Antilles, do you think they should get the Shield together when Dean returns? I think their return this year didn't make a big impact, lasted short to say the least. We got to see where everybody else's programs are going at that point, and see where everybody is. Because again, as with Ambrose back, I don't know, maybe Reigns and Rollins are going to induct Jason Jordan into the Shield. I don't know. So you can't really do that. Hold on here. Let me some more scrolling here. The first time I did this, the scrolling, not strolling, was a little intimidating, but now I'm slowing myself down here. Mac McCall, what's my impact predictions? Just that they're going to have a much better year in 2018. I think they're going to amp up the marketing and just be out there where more people will tune into them and follow the product. Braveheart 84 says NXT is the best. Mr. Weathersby, I can't pronounce your first name. It's Tahitiras. WWE has done a bad job promoting the network. They never show any clips. They just keep saying $9.99. I think they could they could market the network a bit better. You know what bugs me that they don't market on the network a lot? I am on a lot of their shows on the WWE network. They do not promote or market the classics enough. There's a whole group of people out there of the older age group that grew up watching wrestling in the 60s and the 70s, and they want to see that stuff. And it is on the network, but unless you type in a name in the search engine like Bruno Sammartino or Pedro Morales, there's no, they don't really promote it. So I wish they would do better on the marketing by that. Richard Bain. Hey, Richard, who's your favorite female wrestler in WWE? I have to be impartial. I'm not allowed to do that. I'm a broadcaster, a reporter. Who's caught my eye in the WWE, of course? The new Natalya. She's amped her game up. And Charlotte Flair is just damn magnificent. Man, she's incredible. I'll leave it at those two. A douchebag from Australia. Thoughts on NWA under Billy Corrigan? I'm enjoying it. If he purchased TNA, wasn't screwed up. Well, I don't know what the deal was with TNA. As I say with any companies that are looking to compete and make a name out there, without really good TV, you're not going to get anywhere, no matter how much you promote. Maybe 10 years from now, the world is going to be, or 5 years from now, the world is going to be totally streaming, and everybody will be on equal footing. But for right now, for the NWA to get from under the covers a bit, they need to get a syndication deal, or they need to get a deal on regular cable television. That's my feeling. And again, you're talking about screwed over by TNA, but none of us are in. Whenever we say so and so got screwed by so and so, or this company screwed this one, none of us are in those equations. So unless we're hearing it from someone that was sitting in on the meeting, it's ridiculous to even think about that. Stephen Powell, I'm going to the next NXT taping in Atlanta. I can't wait. That's great, Stephen. And if you don't mind, send me a report at beapter@onewrestling.com within a day. I'd love to put that on onewrestling.com. Just the name of the place, the date, and so beat so-and-so, ... So like we used to do in the old PWI days. Keith Barbero. Hey, Keith, have a happy New Year, Bill. And everyone here, thank you so very much, and same to you. Lombardi, 1969. Will Triple A and CML promotions do business with Ring of Honor? I certainly hope so. That would be great. Razor Roman versus Jordan, WrestleMania main event? No, I don't think so. That's your prediction. That's okay, but I don't think it'll happen. Another one from Vince, Out of Touch McMahon. I love that hashtag. He's more in touch than you know, by the way. I know because I'm there sometimes hours before the shows, and believe me, he knows what's going on. Will Asuka, and I used to pronounce that Asuka, be defeated in 2018? Only if she tries to take me on for my Championship Office Wrestling title. I don't know. It's a great question, but who knows? Jody, PA here. We met a few times in Allentown. I know who you are, Jody. Now I got you. All right. Keith Barbero, as they say, dogs rescue us. Yeah, we had just lost another dog, another poodle. And it was the worst day of my life. It was like losing a child. And then I found Lexi Rose by accident. I was looking for, during the day I work as for the past 10 years, I work as an employment specialist for a company named Ahead, where we help job coach and find jobs for people with disabilities. And the SPCA in Abington, Pennsylvania had a sign out. This was 2 days after we lost our dog. Help wanted. I walked in there. They said they filled the job 2 weeks ago. They never put the sign out. And they just found Lexi the same day. Yeah. You're right. Lexi saved me. Wrestling IQ 101. Hey, Bill. Hey, Wrestling IQ. Braveheart. You to Keith Barbero, have a happy new year and all the best for 2018. Douchebag. That's what I said. That's his name here from Australia. Have you seen GWN, Impact's version of the WWE Network? I had the free 30-day trial. Was impressed, especially reliving the glory days of the first few shows at the Asylum. I have. And when I can watch it, it's good. Yeah, I have nothing. I love watching wrestling. MD Song prediction for 2018, Daniel Bryan versus Shane McMahon. WWE will clear Bryan for this. I mentioned that before, but I think Daniel will wrestle one match in Ring of Honor or Evolve or somewhere before he and Shane clash at WrestleMania. And I also do think that Shane McMahon will have to tone down what he does to wrestle against Daniel Bryan. Dominic, do you think they should have more part-time showcase wrestlers like Brock just for pay-per-views? You know what? I like that because it keeps someone special. Once you start seeing someone on TV every week, sometimes they lose that luster of being special. So yeah, I like that because there were times back in the days of Bruno and Pedro and Superstar Billy Graham, where you could only see the stars, the main stars, on an interview on TV or on a squash match on TV, and then to get to see them against someone important, you had to go to the matches. Yeah, so yeah, I definitely think there should be more more part-timers like Brock Lesnar. Stephen Powell says Pluto TV shows Impact for free. I did not know that. Pluto TV. I'm wondering if they is there a Mickey Mouse TV too? Okay. Blood Brawl. Oh, where'd you go here? Hang on, I'm scrolling too fast. I'm gonna find you here. Blood Brawl. I said Blood Brawl. Say it 5 times fast. Blood Brawl. Okay. Hey, Bill Apter, enjoying your content, and I hope you have yourself a good New Year. Thank you. What do you think about YouTube? What do you think about Braun Strowman? He's definitely my wrestler of the year. I mentioned that a few minutes ago. I think like the Road Warriors that started out as bad guys way back when and became the most popular bad guys in the world. That's what's happening with Braun Strowman. I think he's great. Your wrestler of the year, that's great. And I'd say he'd probably be in my top 10 at this point. Stephen Powell, after to Meltzer. I'm not sure what you're asking. If you're asking me about Dave Meltzer, he's a great guy. He's a friend. I've known him since the late 70s and, Wrestling Observer. He and I are two different style broadcast journalists or journalists. We're not the same. But someone suggested, and I forgot who this was, recently, that they would love to see a shoot interview with someone interviewing both me and Meltzer at the same time, and I would love to do that. Timothy Phillips Jr., Ivory or maybe Sable, since the connections with Brock Lesnar for WWE Hall of Fame. I believe Ivory's going in there. Yeah. Sable, Mrs. Lesnar. Haven't seen her in years. I bet she still looks great. Arnie Wolf 3D, Blade Colton Hart versus Davey Boy Smith Jr. So we're talking about the son of Bret Hart versus the son of Davey Boy Smith. Sure, I'd love to see that. Oh, you're predicting that? Yes, that would be great. Should do that in New Japan. Model Mac Davis, thank you for the comment on classics. Totally agree. You're very welcome. Connect TV USA. That sounds very important. Hey, Bill. Happy New Year to you. Same to you. Could you see WWE booked a match between Samoa Joe and John Cena in 2018? Yeah, why not? Kendeo 1 2 3 4 5. Bill Apter, you, me, SummerSlam. You have to work your way up the championship office wrestling ladder to get a match against me. You know something, Kendeo 1 2 3 4 5. Wonderful Willie goes 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Because that's what I am in the ring at 10. So watch your words, baby, if you will. Okay, I love doing this stuff. Richard Bain, Bill, what do you think of this women's Hell in a Cell match with Bayley versus Sasha versus Nia Jax? Oops, hold on a minute. Trying to scroll here. The scroller isn't working well here. Bayley versus Sasha. Let's take that again. Hell in a Cell, Bayley versus Sasha versus Nia versus Charlotte. I'm using all first names versus Alexa Bliss and Natalya. Be great. Would love to see that. Gabe Dunlop, New Japan Pro Wrestling versus WWE. Oh, I'd love to see that. And we're talking about like AJ Styles versus Okada. Oh man, there's so endless matches. We're going for another 15 minutes. So get in your predictions or any other questions. The Guardian of Chaos, Big Daddy, happy birthday, Bill, from your old buddy. You are, and you always will be my old buddy. Douchebag coming back and asking thoughts on Tommy Dreamer's promotion, the House of Hardcore. Apparently the debut show had over 100,000 viewers on Twitch. Yeah, it wasn't it was their debut on Twitch. but I've seen them here in Philadelphia, and no, it's incredible. It's a hardcore federation. He brings back a lot of the ECW nostalgia. That's part of what they do, but a lot of current guys as well. And no, I'm very impressed with the House of Hardcore. They're running a big show on SummerSlam weekend right here in Philadelphia, and I will be there. So come and say hello. Happy New Year, Bill, and the chat. I hope you mean the after chat. Oops. I messed up the scroll here again. Fight Phil. Bill Apter is the legend. I owe so much to that generation, to that gentleman. If that's you, Sean, thank you. And I owe you much thanks for saying that. You're an incredible writing talent. And I miss not having you on OneWrestling.com. Antilles, I predict financial problems for the WWE in 2018. I think there might be some releases and maybe a minor show, 205 Live, getting canceled. That show is on their network, so I don't see it getting canceled. This is my feelings only. Lexi's down there drinking again. I don't think they're going to have financial problems. I think they're growing internationally. So, but again, that's strictly my thoughts. Okay. Kendeo 12345. Bill Apter for the WWE Hall of Fame. Thank you. Again, that would be my crowning glory. Yard Tape 99. Hi, Bill. Who is better at yoga, Eddie Elner or DDP? That's a great question. Wow. Eddie Elner has his own. He was our bad guy reporter after Dan Shockett had passed away. Eddie has his own yoga studio in California. I believe it's called Yoga Soup. You can Google that. But his style of yoga and DDP style are totally different. It's not the same thing. You can go to both their websites and examine which one. So Yardape 99, that's a great question. And for all you people who think Eddie Elner is or was not real, look him up. And the same thing with Dan Shockett. DX Girl 69. My husband Dennis wants to know who are my top 5 NWA World Heavyweight Champions. Well, why isn't he asking me? No, that's fine. Not in any order. It would be Dory Funk Jr., Jack Briscoe, Harley Race, Ric Flair, and let me get some thought because there were a lot of them. And you thought I was going to say Terry Funk, but I wasn't going to do that. The 5th one. Wow. That's a Lou Thesz, of course. How could I forget him? Lou Thesz. And again, it's not in any particular order. Whew. It just came to me. Boy, I'm glad I didn't let him forget him. Danny. Hello, Danny. Wow. Lombardi, 1969. What was it like interviewing Lou Thesz? I just mentioned his name. I went to my first trip to Japan. I traveled with Lou Thesz and spent 9 days with him, interviewing him, taking pictures of him and everyone else in Japan at that point. But what a gentleman, what a classy guy. And back then, when I did interviews, everything was about wrestling, not we didn't use the word, you're working with so-and-so, or how did they decide to finish? Everything was like a legit pro wrestling sport. And I miss him very, very much. I'm still in touch with his wife, Charlie Thesz, a few times a year. Guardian of Chaos, Big Daddy, thanks for all the years. Willie, you're welcome, sir. WWF 247, how does one work for you? Well, if you're looking to get published on OneWrestling.com, or you want to start submitting videos for use on our YouTube channel, shoot me an email at bapter, that's B-A-P as in Peter, T as in Tom, E-R at OneWrestling.com. That's my email address, bapter at OneWrestling.com, and it's got to be the number 1, not the word. If you come back to me and say it didn't get there, why? Because you put ONE, onewrestling.com. It's the number one wrestling.com. Always looking for new correspondents who can write and can come up with ideas, and video correspondence as well. All right. The Rye Dog has a question here as soon as I can get to it. Happy New Year, sir. Same to you. Jody, I predict that Pop Funkos come out with classic stars made, maybe an after Funko. That would be very funkio. Thank you. Guardian of Chaos, Big Daddy. Willie, Happy New Year, my friend. Same to you again. Please check out Center Ring 316 on YouTube with veteran Mario Mancini, along with myself. Love you, love you, love you, Bill. Love you too, in a guy way, of course. Brian V. I predict Dolph Ziggler will join Ring of Honor, and I was wondering how WWE Raw 25-year anniversary will go live from two places at once. Very easy to simulcast two places at once. They'll just cut back and forth, and the people at the arenas will see from the other location on the screen. Dolph Ziggler joining Ring of Honor. I don't think he's done with WWE, but that's a good bet. Yardape 99. Bill, has a promotion ever brought in a masked wrestler into a promotion with the promoter and wrestler both worked the boys in the sense they didn't know who it was under the hood? The only Mil Mascaras, one of my wrestling heroes, never took his mask off in the dressing room, never showed any of the workers his face. He would drive miles and miles and miles out of town before he would take the mask off. When he came up to the offices of Pro Wrestling Illustrated, he never took his mask off, wouldn't do it. And he met Mr. Weston, who was, started all the wrestling magazines. He wouldn't take the mask off for him. So that's who it would be. A non-mask guy, though, that situation helped with. Do you remember when Eric Bischoff was brought in as the general manager of Monday Night Raw? They told no one. They snuck him in. And until he was seen on TV, first by Booker T, no one knew who it was. They kayfabed all the wrestlers. Boy, douchebag, you've got a lot of questions here. Sorry, Bill, but it's okay. The only reason why I say Billy Corrigan was screwed over by TNA was after watching his shoot interview with Vince Russo. Still, I guess there's two sides to every story. That's correct. Because Vince Russo, who I respect, and he's a good friend of mine, should have had someone on from TNA if they would have talked to him. MD Song, prediction for 2018, Mouth Guitar Challenge. I know who that is. On KFAN in the Minnesota State. For me versus you on Common Man or Karaoke Challenge. I'm open to any karaoke challenges around the world. If anyone wants to bring me into a karaoke place and pay my airfare and hotel and bring me in to sing, I do hundreds of songs and I even rap. Yep. Put in on YouTube, Bill Apter Raps Moon River. I will go for it. And we got to have some pizza too. Dominic, do you think USA Network will resign with WWE when the contract is up? I've heard of no rumors. I think they'd be crazy to do that. They make a lot of money from advertising WWE. That's like their biggest show. It keeps USA Network out there. Mac McCall, what do you think of Don Callis and Scott D'Amore running Impact? Fine. I mean, it's too soon to say right now. They're both excellent at what they do. Timothy Phillips Jr., Jake the Snake surprise Rumble in 2018. Remember a few years ago when he said that he was going to be in the Royal Rumble? So now let's take this apart. Icons of Wrestling Convention on Royal Rumble weekend at the 2,100 Old ECW Arena. Jake Roberts is doing his one-man show there on Saturday night. That's about 1.5 miles away from the building where the Royal Rumble is. Could be. It could be. this could be that year. Great prediction. Yard Ape 99. I know someone that was in the college class. I know someone that was in the college class as Scott D'Amore. Okay, I'm not sure what you mean by that, but Gabriel Hernandez. First time we've heard from you today. Are we making predictions? If so, we are. We're supposed to be, but it's wide open. It's a ask me anything. If so, I have a prediction of my own. I feel like Los Ingobernables is going to take over the wrestling business. I'm not overly familiar with them. Actually, okay, now I know what you're talking about. Also, he adds, Naito is killing it at New Japan. La Sombra is doing well in NXT, and Rush is holding a title in CMLL. Yeah, I read over that too quickly. Now I know exactly who we're talking about, and those are great predictions. Fightful, it is Sean. Hey, Sean, I appreciate all you did for me. I miss One Wrestling people too. Hope you had a great Christmas. Everything was great. And keep in touch with me, Sean. You know where to get a hold of me. Greg Dunlap. Thanks, Bill. Thoughts on how to break into wrestling as a journalist in this day and age? It's totally different than when I was doing it. Totally, totally different. You got to start a blog, and you got to get people to notice the blog. You got to get onto Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and all kinds of social media. Market yourself. Grab someone's eye, because there's not much places to do. It's so overcrowded. People want to know why I don't do the podcast anymore with Tricky Nicky Houseman. Overcrowded field podcasting. Same thing with wrestling blog. But I will give you one piece of advice. And I've said this over and over. If you're looking to be a journalist in pro wrestling, you can be critical, but do it in a way that doesn't hurt people. Once you tick someone off in the wrestling business, you're gone. They don't want to talk to you. They don't want to read you. So don't, I'm going to say it. I hate to use these kind of words. Don't piss anybody off. That's my, if you want to be a journalist, just don't do that. And you can send stuff to me at onewrestling.com at my email address at bapter@onewrestling.com. Braveheart 84, will Stone Cold Steve Austin come back? He was my favorite back in the day. I could, not to wrestle, but I could definitely see him making another appearance. Yeah. Hitman 1755, Bill, what is your favorite Eddie moment? Eddie Elner moment? Oh, good. There's no favorite ones because he insulted everybody I like. But my favorite moments with him was going out to lunch with he and Craig Peters and Stu Sachs and Joe Bua and several others on the staff there and arguing with each other. So, all right, we are 2 minutes away from finishing here for today. And again, I'm going to do this once a week, maybe twice a week. Brian V, do you think Jeff Jarrett will return to WWE? Yeah, I'd like to see that. Stephen Powell, are you looking forward to Jericho versus Omega? I have fight fever. I can't wait to see it. I have actual fight fever. I got the chills. I think it's going to be great. And what a great idea. And I think Jericho's the mastermind behind this this whole thing. I really do. Absolutely brilliant. Timothy Phillips Jr., maybe Jim Cornette somehow to be a writer again in wrestling in 2018. Maybe. Hitman 1755, Eddie Guerrero. I'm not sure what you're asking me. Luke Geddes, respect to you, Bill. One love. Same back to you, sir. Thank you. Bill, was the Easy Liz contest a legit contest in PWI, or was it Wrestler Inside? I'm not sure which contest. All our contests were legit there, but I'm not sure what contest the Easy Liz one was. You're probably talking about the Liz Hunter one, but I don't remember what it was. The last one for today. Mr. Wicked 505, did I work close with ICP? I did. They brought me to the Gathering several years ago, and they made me a juggalo. I loved working with the Insane Clown Posse. Douchebag, thanks, Bill, once again for all the best for 2018. Love your work. And cheers from down under. Thank you. Look up my friend Mike Altamara on Facebook. He's a promoter, wrestling and boxing, Altumara. Sorry for all the questions. No, Hagenreich, I love it. Please keep asking. Liz Hunter, I think you won a date or something. I don't remember that contest. I really don't. It's so many years ago. And I wouldn't kayfabe you if I remember that. So last one, Stephen Powell. Happy New Year, Bill. Thanks for the live chat. You are all welcome. I'm 19 seconds over, and I promised everyone it would just be 1 hour. This is Bill Apter. Don't forget, if you haven't read my book, Is Wrestling Fixed? I didn't know it was broken. Or somebody asked you, is wrestling fixed? That's the answer. I didn't know it was broken. Get the book. There's also the audio version. Please follow me on Twitter at Apter1Wrestling. That's the number 1. Please follow onewrestling.com and subscribe to onewrestlingvideo.com. It's absolutely free. Bill Apter, and as I always say, I'll see you at the matches. Thank you so much for being here live and in color, if you will.